Hello students, in this video lecture, I'm going to teach you how to summarize a text and what is the difference between summarizing and paraphrasing. First of all, what is a summary? A summary is also known as abstract, precis, or synopsis. It, it is a shortened version of a text that highlights its key points. Means, if you take a lengthy text, you know, once you go through the text, you try to understand what is given in the text, and then you try to put in your own words what it is all about. When you are putting in your own words, what you do is like you just concise that, and only the main points of the text we try to make a note of that. So that shortened version of a text is called as a summary. But we have few things to follow when we are summarizing a text. That means when we are making it short. In the sense, you have to focus on the main points that the author tried to describe in the original text, or the author tried to focus in the original text. So what it is all about, what the author is trying to tell you. So what are the main points that we have to focus on? Only those main points or the main ideas of the author would become your summary. So the word summary comes from Latin, which means sum. Sum in the sense here, summing up all the main ideas or all the main points of the original text. Now, how to summarize a text? Is there any specific length that we have to follow when you are shortening the original text? There is no such rule, but usually what we do is summary, we keep our summary 1/3 of the original size of the text. So when you summarize a text, it should be 1/3 of the original text. So to make it 1/3 of the original text, what we do is we just eliminate the additional information or the examples or the illustrations that were quoted in the original text, and we try to focus only on the main point that the author is trying to tell the reader. So how to do this process is, when you take a text, what you do is first we skim that, as we have learnt it in the previous videos. When you are reading a text, we follow few techniques. First thing is skimming, to get an overview of the particular thing. Once you decide that the text is something important to read or it would be useful to you, what we do is we scan the thing, like whatever the information that we want, the specific information, we try to find from the text. So the other thing is, like, we try to find the main points in the text. Now this scanning process we are applying here in summarizing a text. That means we are trying to find out the main points or the key ideas of the author from the original text, and then we try to put those key ideas in our own words and make it a summary. Let us see step by step, like what qualities or what are the qualities of a summary. So a good summary should be comprehensive. When you make a summary, that summary should be easy to understand. When the readers read that summary, they should easily understand what you are trying to say, or what is the main idea of your summary. The other thing is it should be concise. So it should be short and brief, coherent. So there should be connectivity. There should be connectivity throughout your summary. So all the things, all the thoughts that you expressed in your summary should be connected so that the reader gets a better understanding about that. and it should be independent. You should never include your personal ideas or opinions in the summary. So you are trying to state only the main points from the author's point of view, what author has said. You are trying to again state those main points only. Here there is no scope to add any of your personal opinions or personal ideas in a summary. Now, how do I summarize? Like, how to summarize a text? First thing is, when you are summarizing, that means you are trying to summarize the content of other person who has written it. Like, you read some article and it is written by someone. So now when you are summarizing that article, that means you are trying to summarize the article which is written by some other author. When you are summarizing the article or the text which is written by someone else, what you have to do is you have to refer to the title of the article, or you have to refer to the author, of that particular text. So better you include, if there is any title or if there is any reference of the author in the text, it is better to include the title and identify the author in your first sentence of the summary. Next, the first sentence or two of your summary should contain the author's thesis. That means the main statement. That should be in your first sentence or first two sentences of your summary. This is the idea that runs through the entire text, the one you would mention if someone asked you what is a piece or article about. So once they read that first sentence itself, they come to know this article is all about so and so. So that you should convey in your first sentence only. When summarizing a longer article, divide the article into sections, then write a sentence or two to cover the key ideas in each section. So if it is a lengthy text, so it's not possible at a one slot you can make a summary. So what you have to do is you have to divide the article into sections. Anyway, any article or any lengthy text, written text will have three parts: introduction, body, and conclusion. So better you just divide that into sections and then try to summarize the things. Then write a sentence or two to cover the key idea of each section. So for each paragraph, let us take, for example, section in the sense paragraph. So for each and every paragraph, you try to make one or two key ideas from each and every. What is this paragraph about? In one line or two lines, you just make a thing. Then at last you can, all the key points or ideas what you have summarized for each and every section, you can combine them and make it into your original summary or overall summary of the text. Now omit the ideas that are not really important. Do not feel that you must reproduce the author's exact progression of thoughts. Don't think that whatever that is provided by the author in the text, you should quote each and everything. It's not necessary. So whatever that you feel that it is not really important, then try to omit that idea. In general, omit minor details and specific examples. You can omit some examples or illustrations provided by the author, and also you can omit minor details which you feel like they are very less important in the text. In some texts, an extended example may be a key part of the argument, so you would want to mention it. If you feel like that example would be the base of the whole thing, then there is nothing like you can add it. There is nothing that you have to omit that particular thing. If you feel that it is very important or the key element of the argument, then you can keep it in your summary. Avoid writing opinions or personal responses in your summary. That's what I told you, like the summary should be independent. That means you should not include any of your personal opinions or personal responses in that particular summary. Be careful not to plagiarize the author's words. Means like you should not quote the exact words of the author into your summary. Instead, you should read that, understand that, and try to put in your words what exactly that article or the text mean, and what are the main points that the author is trying to tell. Only those main points try to put in your words and try to make it a summary. That is very important. We should not exactly quote the words of the author in your summary. Okay, and it's something like copying from the original text. So all these points we have to remember when we are summarizing a text. Now let us see that sample summary. Here I have taken a summary of an article, and you can see in the first line I have quoted the title of the article, My Favorite Shoe, and also the author's name, Trevin Jones. You know, that's what I told. A good summary always includes the title of the article or the text or anything like that. If that is referred, actually, if there is any title to the text what is given, then better you include the title in your summary, and also the author in your first line of your summary. So it would be a good part of your summary. In My Favorite Shoe, Trevin Jones explains. So what is he trying to tell? Means you are putting in his words only. You are not trying to just put forward your thoughts or your opinions. You are exactly quoting what he has said in the original text. Explains that Nike shoes are the best brand of running shoe for serious track athletes. Jones supports this view by pointing out. So, like in the first line, you have included the title and the author's name. You have given the author's reference here. And then the main point that he tried to focus throughout his article. What is that main point? Nike shoes are the best brand of running shoe for serious track athletes. This is the main statement what he has given. And whatever the supporting details that he has provided in his article would support this main statement only. So when you read this main statement, you come to know that the whole article would be telling about or would be supporting this statement that how these Nike shoes are, like, the best brand of running shoe for serious track athletes. Now, how he supports his main statement, we have put in his words only. Jones supports. So in his words, we are telling Jones supports this view by pointing out that Nike shoes are more comfortable, last longer, and provide more cushioning for the feet. So this is one supporting statement that we have given to strengthen our main statement. He notes that, again, we are just quoting his words. He notes that the statistics from sales and scientific evidence of how Nike shoes are better for the feet support his claim. So he notes that the statistics. So he has taken some evidence, live evidence from the sales and scientific research of how Nike shoes are better for the feet support his claim. That means his statement. In addition, so we are using some connective words also to keep that coherence in between the lines or in between the statements. And in addition, Jones point out that most professional runners use Nike and tells how he won the 100-meter men's competition after switching to Nike shoes. So he has given his, his experience to support his main statement. So he has added up one point. In addition, Jones point out that most professional runners use Nike and tells how he won the 100 meters men's competition after switching to Nike shoes. This is a sample summary wherein, like, you have got all the details. As I said, like, it should include the title, and also it should refer the author, and it should have a main statement and only the key ideas of the whole article, and there should be some coherence in between the sentences. That connectivity should be there, and you should not include your ideas into this particular thing, but it has to be independent. So in such a way, like, here whatever the author tried to keep in the original text, the main points we have taken. We read the original text or took only the main points that the author focused in, and we try to summarize the article. In the same way, like, we have taken one more thing here. So it's a bit of an article and it's not a complete article. how to summarize to show you, like I just taken the original text, and this original text now we are going to summarize that. And of course, from where the bit of this article or the text is taken, the source also is given here. Okay, so how to summarize is, once we have to read the text, and whenever you come across the key ideas or the key points, try to underline them or try to make a note of them separately. So first we read this: America has changed dramatically during recent years. Not only has the number of graduates in traditional engineering disciplines such as mechanical, civil, electrical, chemical, and aeronautical engineering declined, but in most of the premier American universities, engineering curricula now concentrate on and encourage largely the study of engineering science. As a result, there are declining offerings in engineering subjects dealing with infrastructure, the environment, and the related issues, and greater concentration on high technology subjects, largely supporting increasingly complex scientific developments. While the latter is important, it should not be at the expense of more traditional engineering. So, what are the key points that we can, like key things, what we can? Some change has come dramatically in America with regards to traditional engineering disciplines. And traditional engineering disciplines, so they're falling down, like declined, and premier American universities now concentrate on and encourage study of engineering science instead of the core things. They are concentrating more on the scientific courses. Declining offerings in engineering subjects, greater concentration on high technology subjects. These are the key elements that we could find in this particular bit of text. So we have a source here. Now what we have to do is, only these key ideas we have to put into our own thing. We have to transform them into our own words and then try to summarize the thing. Let us see here. This is the summary of this text. Now we are quoting the source first. In 2008, faculty newsletter article, Change in Education, the Cost of Sacrificing Fundamentals. So this whole thing refers to the article, the source. Who is the one who has written this article? MIT faculty, like MIT Professor Emeritus Ernst G. Frankel. What he does, he expresses his concerns. What concerns? Regarding the current state of American engineering education. So when you read this particular thing, you come to know what the summary is going to tell you about. That means the current state of American engineering education. So the first line, it quotes the source, and the second line, it is trying to give you the main idea of what is going to be ahead, what the author is trying to tell you ahead. He notes that the whole main points, key points, what we have highlighted, we try to combine these things. He notes that the number of students focusing on traditional areas of engineering, traditional engineering disciplines that we turned into our words, traditional areas of engineering, declined, has decreased. While the number interested in high technology and greater concentration on high technology subjects, that we have just tried to change, decreased, while the number interested in high technology end of the field has increased. So greater concentration, that means has increased. So we are just trying to now concentrate on, we just try to combine all these ideas without a change in the meaning of the original text. We are trying to quote the words. We are not trying to exactly or directly quote the author's words, but we are trying to put them in our words and try to summarize the thing. Now, of course, this thing gives the same meaning as this. That means he notes that the number of students focusing on traditional areas of engineering has decreased, while the number interested in high technology end of the field has increased. So that is the main point here, and we try to summarize the thing. Now, this is how we can summarize. So we are trying to quote the source of the article, the title of the article or the source of the article, and also we are giving a reference of the author, and we are trying to give the main idea of the, which when one read, like we come to know what that main statement, if we read that main statement, we come to know what the article or summary is going to tell you about, and only the main idea or the key idea that we understand from the whole text we are putting in the summary. This is how we summarize a text. And what is the difference between paraphrasing and summarizing then? So summary, we came to know that is a shortened version of the original text, and we are trying to focus only on the main ideas and the key ideas of what author stated, and there is no scope for your to express your personal opinions or ideas in the summary. It's only the original, from the original text, whatever the author says, only those main points we are trying to convert into our words, and we just make it as a summary, but exactly what author said should be conveyed in the summary. And here there is no scope of your personal opinions and views. That is how we summarize. So what is the difference between paraphrasing and summarizing then? Paraphrasing is slightly different than summarizing. So there is a slight difference between paraphrasing and summarizing. When you summarize a passage, you focus on restating only the main idea in your own words. But here, when it comes to paraphrasing on the other hand, aims to provide most of the information in a slightly condensed form. It's like not the shortened form, but of course, when you read a text, what you understood, you try to put in your words. So it's not like it has to be short or concise. Sometimes paraphrase might be, a little lengthier than original text. So summary would be the shortened version of the original text. Paraphrase would be, on the other hand, provide most of the information in a slightly condensed form. Summaries are much shorter than original passages, while paraphrasing can be shorter, longer, or same length. That depends again. So sometimes you only need to paraphrase the information from one sentence. Here are some examples, like we could see some examples now, how to paraphrase a single sentence. So let us see this one. Original. Her life spanned years of incredible change for women as they gain more rights than ever before. This is a long and lengthy sentence, and now we are trying to concise, like you are trying to paraphrase that. Once you read that, what you come to know, what you understand, you try to put in your words. Her life spanned years of incredible change for women. She lived through the exciting era of women as they gained more rights than ever before. Gained more rights than ever before. This is a kind of liberation. So what we try to put, we try to put that same content in our words, exactly. She lived through the exciting era of women's liberation. Both the things mean the same. So we are trying to paraphrase that into our words. Next one. Symptoms of influenza include fever and nasal congestion. So this is the original sentence. Symptoms of influenza include fever and nasal congestion. So when we paraphrase that, we are not supposed to keep the exact words or same words of the original text into our paraphrase. We have to change that. A stuffy nose. This is what like nasal congestion. And elevated temperature. This is what like, include fever. Fever is the elevated temperature. So instead of using the same words, we are trying to use the similar words or the words which gives the same meaning. So a stuffy nose and elevated temperature are signs you may have the flu. So the same thing, but you try to paraphrase it in your words, but there is no change in the meaning of that. The price of a resort vacation typically includes meals, tips, and equipment rentals, which makes your trip more cost effective. So this is the original thing. So paraphrase, when you paraphrase that, we try to change these words but convey the same thing. All inclusive resort vacations can make for an economical trip, which makes your trip more cost effective. That is what we are saying, economical trip. All inclusive resort vacations. All inclusive in the sense, inclusive, what all inclusive? Inclusive meals, tips, and equipment rentals. All these things we just kept in single word. All inclusive resort vacations can make for an economical trip. Now let us see one more thing. He has tons of stuff to throw away. He has tons of stuff to throw away. He needs to get rid of a lot of junk, tons of stuff. So here, what you observed is like, instead of using the same words, instead of using the same phrases, we are trying to make use of a different word and a different phrase which conveys the same thing. And length of the paraphrase, of course, as I said, it can be shorter, it can be lengthier than the original text, or it can be of the same size of the original text. So we can't exactly stick on to one particular thing. But when it comes to summary is a shortened version, so it has to be concise, it has to be shorter than the original text. But when it comes to paraphrase, you try to put in your words from whatever that you understood from the original text, you try to put in your words. But length of the paraphrase, you can't stick on whether your paraphrase has to be shorter or lengthier or of the same size. It varies. Now, how to paraphrase a paragraph or text? Let us see. First of all, know what paraphrasing means. Paraphrasing is saying something someone else has said in your own words. So what is said by others, you are putting in your words. You still express the same ideas, but you are not changing any of the ideas, but you are trying to convey that in a different way. It can be a useful skill to have, especially if you are trying to write an essay or article. So when you are supposed to write an article or an essay, what you do is you get lot of information from different sources, but you can't exactly quote the information what you got from different sources. Instead, what you have to do is you have to read that and try to put in your what you understood, you try to put in your words and make a paraphrase. Now, be aware of the differences between paraphrasing and summarizing. Paraphrasing may sound suspiciously like summarizing. Many people get confused with the terms paraphrasing and summarizing, but there are actually two different methods of rewriting a text. In both methods, you are putting the text in your own words, but summarizing focus only on the main facts or on the facts or the statements rather than the details, but paraphrase includes details also. Now, see, let us take one more example. Original text. The fox stalked its prey in the moonlight, its large ears and bright eyes on high alert for the rabbit's next move. So this is a kind of text what you have read. When you are putting it in your own words, you should make it more simple, and you should, if anyone reads that paraphrase, they should be able to understand that easily. So here the same text, to put it in other way, the rabbit stayed still in the light of the moon. The fox stalked its prey in the moonlight. Stalked its prey in the sense here they have given a quote rabbit. So the rabbit stayed still in the light of the moon while the fox surveyed the land using its spectacular hearing and night vision. It's a kind of course, if it is much difficult example, leave it. Just to make you understand, we'll take one more thing. Fox hunt rabbits at night using their ears and eyes. To make it like it is a summary. So it is a paraphrased one, it is a summary. Here we have added all the details whatever that are given in the original text, but when we are summarizing only the main point, fox hunt rabbits at night using their ears and eyes. This is the implied meaning of the text. So in general, this is a general statement. What they do is they hunt rabbits at night using their ears and eyes. That is the summary of the original text. So that is the difference between paraphrasing and summarizing. Now let us see. Understand that paraphrasing doesn't necessarily mean making the text shorter. It's not like that. So when you summarize, you are trying to take a longer text and make it into a shorter, succinct text using your own words. This is not the case with the paraphrasing. In fact, sometimes your paraphrased paragraph might be slightly longer than the original one, depending on the words you choose. When you paraphrase, try to be as accurate as possible. So you have to be as accurate as possible. So change the original word choice, like the main important steps that you have to follow while you are paraphrasing the text is change the original word choice. So whatever the words that are used in the original text, when you are paraphrasing that, you try to change those words and replace those original words with the words which are similar to the original words. When you paraphrase, you must change the diction or words being used. That is, as a writer, you have your own unique way of explaining an idea, and therefore your diction is important. Diction just means the words you use to make your point. When you are paraphrasing, you must choose different words than the ones in the original text to explain the same idea. Example, the words you would choose to tell someone how to ride a bike are different from the words another writer would choose, like how to ride a bike. So this is the main concept. So what are the possible ways that we can convey is ride a bike, climb on the bike, sit on the bike seat. Both have essentially the same meaning. Get on the bike, of course, like when you are trying to tell someone or give instructions to someone how to ride a bike, the first step is like you'll ask the person to get on the bike. Get on the bike is a phrase. Now instead of this, we can make use of climb on the bike or sit on the bike seat. So we can use different words to convey the same, different word combinations to convey the same meaning. That is what we are telling here. So in the original text, whatever the words that are used by the author, when you are paraphrasing that, try to make a difference in the word choice, but it should convey the same meaning. Use a thesaurus to help you with word choice. If you're not finding the similars, like if you don't have an idea about the similar words of the thing, then you better take the help of a thesaurus. If you can find lot of similar words which you can use in the place of the original word. So be careful while choosing the words which are appropriate for the paragraph. Sometimes synonyms, of course, they are similar, but sometimes they won't convey the exact thing in the text. For instance, grumble and protest, they both are similar words only. They have similar meanings, and they would be listed as synonyms in a thesaurus. However, they have different connotations, like different kind of uses. Like for instance, protest is often connected to politics, while grumble is usually associated with complaining. So they both are treated as synonyms only, but we have to check out whether the synonym, that particular word, can be used in our context or not. Create your own syntax for your paraphrased paragraph. That means paraphrasing doesn't just relate to word choice, it also has to do with syntax and structure. That means sentence structure also you have to make a change. Syntax refers to the order of the words when you form a sentence. So how to change that structure of that or as a structure of a sentence? For instance, Jane stared at the sunset as she ate oranges. For example, this is the line that you want to paraphrase it. Now here we can change the structure of the sentence like Jane ate oranges while she stared at the sunset. That means we are just trying to change the position of the words and change the structure of the sentence to convey what you understood from the original text, but you are not exactly quoting the same structure, but you are trying to make change or bring change in the sentence structure. Try to change the structure of the paragraph completely. Like structure is how sentences and paragraphs put together. It's not only the sentence structure, but you have to change the structure of the paragraph. When you are paraphrasing, you can't just replace words in the text with synonyms and call it done. You actually need to reconstruct or restructure it until it is completely a new paragraph that conveys the same idea. See, paragraph you would like to paraphrase. That means this is the original paragraph, and when you, after reading this, you need to paraphrase that. Once, let us read this. Jane swerved in the road to avoid hitting the deer. As the car veered off the road, Jane could not help thinking this day may be her last. Her thoughts flashed to her children and her spouse. The car hit the tree with a sickening crunch, and Jane blacked out. However, she awoke within a few seconds, bruised and sore, but alive. So this is what happened actually. So this is a description of the accident that happened. So now, after reading this, to paraphrase that in your words, so what you understood, you are just trying to keep it. Like after reading the first sentence, Jane saw a deer in the road, so she swung her car around to miss the animal. Jane swerved in the road to avoid hitting the deer. As the car veered off the road, Jane could not help thinking this day may be her last. So her car headed for the trees. Her mind flooded with images of her family, and she wondered if she would die today. As the front of the car crunched into the car hit the tree with a sickening crunch. The same thing we have conveyed. As the front of the car crunched into the tree, and Jane blacked out. She lost consciousness for a moment. So we are trying to give the meaning of this particular phrase. And of course, the sentence structure also we have changed. However, she awoke within a few seconds, bruised and sore, but alive, though she thankfully survived the crash with just a few bumps. So this is what you understood. You tried to paraphrase that. The original text is this and the paraphrased paragraph is this. There's a lot of difference in the uses of the words, in the uses of the phrases, in the uses of the structure of sentence, but the meaning that it conveyed is same as the original text. Here you are putting this in your own words, so it has become a paraphrase. So when you try to read the original text, you try to understand the inner meaning of the text, and you try to put in your words conveying the same meaning without any change in the meaning. This is how you can paraphrase the paragraphs. Like review. So when you paraphrase, you retell the story in your own words in a passage that is about the same length as the original. When you summarize, you significantly shorten a piece, retell it in your own words, touching only the main points of the passage. So that is the difference. Paraphrase, you retell the story in your own words in a passage that is about the same length as the original. It may be of same length, it may be longer than that, or it might be of same size of the original text. But when it comes to summary is a short piece of the original text. It focuses only on the main points what the author tried to state. It leaves all the other less important details and examples included in the text. Only the main thing summary focuses on. So that is the difference between paraphrase and summarizing. This is all about summarizing and paraphrasing. I hope you understood. Thank you.